Hey everyone, it's Michelle, and I'm here today to show you the results of using this gel medium right here. And this one is the Coarse Pumice gel, extra coarse pumice gel. And the effect that you get is very, very noticeable. I mean, like right here on this board, you can see it. It's really thick and very grainy. It dries whitish to opaque, kind of clear. There is some white. It does take a very long time to dry, actually. I left these overnight. And so here, you're just going to, you just use your little makeup sponge and you dab it in there. And it's okay if you use the sponge and get it in there. I tried using the Distress ink, but it does rub off some of the little rock pieces. But yeah, so I'm sure that there's a medium that can go over here and like really adhere it down. But I'm just going to show you what I did. So I'm using a 6x8 cardstock right here, and I'm just going to prime it with my gesso. And this gesso is Daler Rowney. It's kind of difficult here. Okay, so this is the gesso, and I'm just going to pour it right onto my board. Whoops, that's a lot. So I poured it right onto my board, and there's quite a bit. I'm using my 2-inch flat brush, and this is my gesso brush. I love it, my gesso brush. So I'm just going to rub the gesso because you want to have a really good backing when using this. So that's what I did. Add the gesso, and then you're just going to wait for the gesso to dry. Okay, so there's the gesso. And while we're waiting for that to dry a bit, I'm going to move these over. What you do with the pumice gel is you just take some, and I'm using a plastic craft palette knife here, and you can see that it's very grainy. I'm going to take some, put it right onto my craft sheet right here, and I'm going to be covering my whole board. And you're just going to add the colors that you want in it. So I am using the Terracotta Americana Deco Art color. And I'm just going to add a good wallop of that on top. And I'm going to mix it around. Look how pretty and grainy this is. I zoom in, I can't zoom in anymore. Okay, so that's how it looks like right there. It's really, really coarse. So now I'm just going to speed up the time, and I am going to dry my gesso. So I'll be back, you guys. Now we're going to just spread this mixture of the pumice gel onto our board. Okay, and it's pre-gessoed and everything. So I'm just going to grab the whole thing and slop it on. And then I like to spread it out after. So I'm just grabbing it. And you're just going to spread it like butter, you guys. Or like Arlene said, like peanut butter. Just spread it on. And it doesn't really matter how you spread it on. You don't need to be neat with it. Just go crazy. You can see, right? You can see all that texture in there. So, and you don't really need a lot because you spread this out and you have like great coverage. You don't need to cover the whole thing, but I am going to try to in this video. If I have time. But so basically that's what you do. It's really fun. It's such a great effect. It does take a long time to dry, so you might want to leave it overnight or use your heat gun for a really long time. Just sit there while it's drying. So that's what I'm doing. Don't be afraid to get messy and get in there. So I'm just spreading this around. This is going to be a really gigantic tag I'm making. And I just like to collect the rest of the rock pieces along the side, just like that, and then rub them back on. And I think I'm not going to cover the whole thing, actually. I'm going to leave it. You could just keep spreading it. And that's how I'm going to leave it. I want to have a bit of that white showing through. So that's how it looks like. And I wish you guys could feel it, but it is very, very, very grainy. So you let that aside to dry. Okay? And look at my hands. Don't you love getting messy? So, okay. Over here, this one is the dry one. And you could see it is really, really coarse. So what you want to do, if you want to get color like I did over here, you're just going to take your makeup sponge and you just dab the color into where you want to. And it's okay that you get into the deep grooves and the cracks, because if you rub your distressing over it, it's just going to wipe off a little bit. But it's still really, really a nice effect when you do dab the paint on. And that's it, you guys. Very, very simple and very, very fun. So that's how you use the pumice, extra coarse pumice gel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was so sloppy. Okay, bye you guys.